What are you having for breakfast? Let me show you what I'm having. This is JB from Going Wild here. It's a windy day today. Can't make a fire, so using my Coleman multi-fuel. Let me show you how this works. Might flame up at first. There we go. And you can hear that. It's cranking now. Curious if that's going to keep going. I figured I'd make a little breakfast, so I'm going to set my pan on there and let it get hot. Shouldn't take too long. Got a couple different 8-inch skillets here. This one's my GSI, and I've got a Lodge cast iron over there. Figured I'll make some bacon, some eggs, maybe a pancake or some toast. We'll see. Got my food bag. Let's see, I'm going to throw a piece of bacon in there. I'll cut this into 2 strips. Love my Leatherman tool. To me, it is essential. You hear that maybe? More important for you to see the actual cooking, I believe, than you see me. There we go. Bacon's about done. Heat up my Lodge skillet here. Save that bacon grease for later. Put that in a can or use it. I like the Lodge. It's a little heavier, but the handle is a lot longer. Keeps your hand away from the fire when you're cooking over an open flame. Once it's on there, I'll probably use this as a shim, kind of. Much better. A little butter. Got a couple of eggs here. Cook one egg, see how hot it gets. By the way, this is a GSI anodized aluminum. If you're looking to get one, this is the 10-inch. I like it a lot. I've used it for a long time. Got a couple of them for canoe trips, sea kayak trips. Come in great. You can see it does take a little seasoning on both the GSI and the Lodge cast iron here. They don't come like that. You have to season them properly. And good thing about the anodized aluminum, it doesn't require any seasoning. It's not as picky as a cast iron. Flip it over here. See there? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My eggs kind of over medium. There's that one. Put a little more butter on there. There we go. Crack a couple more eggs. Well, one more. And while that's going, I'll show you give away my coveted and this is real time, by the way. Got my pot here. I'm gonna put in about ½ cup of flour. This is all-purpose flour. Bread flour works really nice. Makes a nice pancake. It's not a secret recipe, just one I've always used. I got it from my mom, pretty much. I'm gonna put in a little bit of Clabber Girl baking powder here. About a ½ teaspoon. Doesn't hurt if you add a little too much. Take my spoon here, give the dry goods a little mix. Make sure the baking powder's swirled around in there. Check my egg. Give it a flip. Add another egg to the pancake pot here. A little bit of buttermilk. You could add water, but buttermilk makes it better. If you're out in the field though, you don't have to carry buttermilk. You just use water. Or powdered milk works good. Give that a little mix. Might need a little more. This is a carved spoon. I carved this one time. Don't want it too runny. It's a little more over well. It's okay. I was kind of preoccupied. It'll still taste good. I like to cook the eggs before the pancakes. The pancakes require a hot pan. The first pancake usually doesn't turn out as good because the pan's not as hot. So I find if I cook my eggs first, my pan's hotter. You take that off the fire. So I can pour. Might make more even. Pan should be hot enough to give it a good solid stick. And put it right back on. And like I said, I'm going to add a couple of close-ups of the different stove systems here that I've shown. These are just the ones I've had. Nobody's given me these. I've bought them over the years myself, used them out in the field a lot. For backpacking, I have come to rely on the Primus. I have used the Pocket Rocket, it's called. It's very small, but with the Pocket Rocket, you're lucky to get a small pot like that. It's mostly made for like a cup, kind of a cup your Nalgene would fit into. One more time. Usually I wash the sides and make sure, see how it's done getting through. Or you can see the bubbles, how they pop. And when they stop filling in, when the bubbles pop, you can tell it's getting pretty close. That's about right. It's a little colder today. Notice I'm wearing a different hat. This is my, well, I'll tell a story about it later. You can see it's getting pretty done. Check the bottom side. It's getting a little brown. You could use Bisquick or pancake mix, just add water. That'll work, but I kind of like flour because I can take the flour, I guess you could Bisquick too, and make ash cakes or some different recipes. Put that over, make it look pretty. Butter my pan a little bit more. Pour some more batter. And this is a Pathfinder, but if you notice, I like it a lot. If you notice when it's hanging, it doesn't hang quite flat. It has that little angle to it. And I guess it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm just being a perfectionist. But if I take my bush pot here from Solo, it hangs very evenly, which I like. And it's a little larger. I guess you can get a larger Pathfinder, but it's fine. They both work. No problems. And I'm looking at the sides here. See how done it's getting? When the cooked part comes up halfway, you know it's about time to flip, or you watch the bubbles. That non-stick going there. And the bubbles are getting slower filling in. Might be a little early. I'm going to check it. Pretty good. And this is what I call a mountain man's breakfast. Get your eggs, bacon, pancakes. Pretty good. And on my pancakes, I like some raspberry preserves or some natural syrup. Pretty good. The good old-fashioned log cabins, what I grew up with. Really good. Maybe not good for you, all the high fructose corn syrup these days. You can get the log cabin all natural. It's good. But some jelly or preserves is what I like the most. Get it done on both sides there. A little more butter. Last one. And I never scrape the bottom too hard because a lot of times the flour stick to the bottom and you'll have flour on top of your pan there. And the good thing about pancakes, you don't have to eat them all at once. When I used to do a lot of adventure racing, we'd carry pancakes in a bag, kind of like food on the go. You can roll them up and eat them while you're running. Pretty cool. This is a longer video, but I thought you might like to see breakfast. And I will show some close-ups of the stoves that I have here. Maybe I'll edit it in here or do a different video. We'll see. My editing is getting a little better, if y'all have noticed. Not quite time to flip yet, you can tell. But yes, a lot of bushcrafters, they don't realize you're at the mercy of Forest Service guidelines when you're out in the forest. And if you're in a national park, the Park Service is even stricter. And if you're in a state park, the state park rangers there too. It all falls under national forest. North Carolina is the home of forestry. We do have the Cradle of Forestry up in the Smoky Mountains National Park area. It's very cool to go. Oh wait, that's not Smoky Mountains. No, that's the Pisgah National Forest has the Cradle of Forestry. Very cool to go see it. Planning a trip. I'm calling it a winter trek up in that area. And there we have it. A man's breakfast. It's JB reminding you to get outside and go wild.